The Dutton family of the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch is shaken by a shocking death in the opening episode of the second section of Paramount Network's Western series Yellowstone Season 5. Jamie Dutton suffers with the shock of the unexpected event that causes him much pain, as Kayce and Beth struggle to accept it. The episode also shows what occurs after Rip Wheeler takes the ranch's cattle to the 4-6 Ranch, 6,666 Ranch, after they are diagnosed with a serious sickness. Spoilers ahead. In the opening scene of Desire Is All You Need, Beth and John Dutton, the governor of Montana, make a beeline for their official house. Seeing the cops and doctors at the house makes her nervous, as she searches for clues about her father's whereabouts. Kayce Dutton appears and uses his badge to grant her entry. After that, he searches the bathroom for his dad and finds John lifeless, his body slumped against the wall, bloodstains on his clothes. He tries to whisk Beth away from the scene. A call about the death of Jamie Dutton's adopted father will soon reach him. He learns that the suicide code 10-56 was the cause of death. Jamie tells everyone that John committed suicide with Lionel Perry's help. His statement is heard by Beth and Kayce, and it deeply unsettles Beth for her brother to witness. She vents her wrath in the livestock commissioner's office. In their brother's eyes, the attorney general lacks the necessary qualifications to assassinate their father. But Beth tells Kayce she knows Jamie's true colors, especially since she knows Jamie was involved in his biological father's murder. Rip Wheeler is in Texas with the ranch's cattle, so Beth contacts him while she's drowning in her awful despair. The news of her father-in-law's death causes him to hastily return to his wife. Market Equity sends businesswoman Sarah Atwood to Montana to deal with the danger posed by the Dutton patriarch, John Dutton. Atwood orchestrates Dutton's death as a result of their passionate romance. Jamie has given her permission to rebel against his father. She hires a professional firm to assassinate the governor, even though the attorney general doesn't think she'll carry out their demand for John's death. Representative Grant Horton of the business that offers logistical solutions to Sarah's problem is prepared to take the position, but he does warn the entrepreneur of the repercussions of her own betrayal. Someone got a video of Jamie and Sarah having sex, and Grant has it. The firm will not hesitate to publish the video to the world if John's death is linked to the firm through the businesswoman. She and her accomplice stand to gain the most from the governor's demise. Therefore, the video's release will swiftly damage their credibility. The implementation plan is still approved by Sarah to stop the investigation that follows. Grant tells her he would make the murder seem like a suicide. John has a lot of people out to get him, but staging a suicide is easier than trying to pin the crime on someone else. For the pact between Sarah and Grant, the assassins of John plant false evidence to lead the authorities to believe that the governor committed suicide. After the preliminary inquiry, the authorities engaged in the case ruled out murder. Therefore, the plan is a success. The detective in charge of the inquiry tells Kayce that the evidence shows the death is a suicide. Despite his attempts at reason, Sarah is taken aback by Jamie's emotional reappearance, as he appears to be inconsolable. When the attorney general finds out that he approved of his father's murder, he is outraged. When he confides in Sarah, she reassures him that all that matters is the governor's chair that is waiting for him. Long journeys end at the 6666 Ranch for Rip and a few of the cowboys from the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch. The Texan Ranch's cowboys and Travis Wheatley are happy to see them at this event. Jimmy HSDR and his old coworkers will also be reuniting. In the past, Jimmy and his partner, Emily, relocated to the 6666 Ranch from the Dutton Ranch. The fact that the young man has matured into a respectable cowboy hasn't stopped Ryan and the others from making fun of him. After establishing his home on some ground close to Dixon Creek, Rip sets out toward Pampa, Texas, in search of supplies. While he is on the road, he gives Lloyd a call. Lloyd, along with the other cowboys and Carter, is taking care of their home in Montana. Lloyd requests that Rip retrieve some metal from a Pampa forge. The cowboy makes an appearance before the renowned bit and spur manufacturer, Billy Klapper. The fact that the old man has managed to keep the spurs intact surprises him. Rip is deeply impressed by Klapper's commitment to his craft. He has the epiphany that Klapper is irreplaceable, and that his death will be a devastating blow to the cowboy way of life. Given the current status of the sector, He questions if cow buying will still exist 30 years from now. As a last act, Rip has Walker deliver a lament for their vanishing way of life. Kayce, Monica Dutton, and Tate Dutton relocate to a cabin on the Dutton Ranch while Rip transforms a Texas dryland into his new residence. She is overjoyed that they are moving to a new house since it gives her a chance to start over following the loss of her child in the beginning of Season 5. Their child, who feels their disgust, watches as Kayce and his wife have an intimate moment in public. When Tate asks Monica about physical closeness, she reminds him that he is of legal sexual age. Instead of having his parents teach him about it, he says he'd rather read up on it online. As this is happening, Kayce has a vision of a wolf that prowls the property his family owns.